When I decided to make a video on this match, I thought I'd be clever with the title, name it something like a mid-table battle, or mid-table scrap, or battle of the mids. Little did I know that descriptor only applied to one of these teams. You know it's a tough day at the office when your goalkeeper is your team's man of the match in a 3-0 defeat. Opta was having a field day about all the stat lines and records being broken, and you know what? Most people saw this coming. This is the first time I'm admitting this publicly, and I'm probably part of the problem for only saying it now, but I think it's time for a new manager. Both Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur were under extreme pressure to perform, and both needed to show something to prove that they were better than 11th and 10th. In the end, United made it easy for Spurs. Captain Fernandes was sent off while a goal down. Brennan Johnson and James Maddison were having the time of their lives. Ten Hag looked like the loneliest man in the rain. Ange Postecoglou was preparing a happy post-match interview script. I had a terrible time. Hello, hope you're doing well. I'm Tinashe, welcome back to the channel. So before this match started, I was actually quite excited at the prospect of a positive result for United here, and this was really because this is the closest that we're going to get to a rivalry with one of the bigger teams this season. Chelsea have gotten their act together. Cole Palmer's over here scoring 4 goals in 1 game, proving to be the most cost-effective £40 million spent in the Clear Lake Capital era. We are no longer brothers in pain. You've left us alone in the dark. You should be ashamed. The other day we heard reports that Omar Barada announced to the Manchester United staff that the leadership were aiming for United to reclaim the Premier League title by 2028. This specific year marks the 150-year anniversary of the formation of United as a club. It was also reported that he announced this to a workforce that's quickly being made more and more redundant. I can think of another position that's likely about to be vacated. Morale is low for just about everyone involved or associated with the club, and you know, it just puts into perspective how inconsequential our wailings about men kicking ball for a living are when people are facing real problems in the world. 2 wins after 6 games is just not good enough, you know? We all know what the problems are. Bright sparks here and there. Mistakes, more mistakes, and missed opportunities. Coming off the back of back-to-back draws against Crystal Palace and then Twente, where the team was just mediocre and lackluster in so many departments, was really sobering to me. These were the results that made me switch over to the Ten Hag out crowd, not the Tottenham Hotspur results. It may have been the first time that I've really deeped it and admitted to myself that this is United's level. It just truly is. United aren't better than most teams. They can't compete with most teams. They just have more money. Whoa. Did I just solve socioeconomic discrimination? Tottenham Hotspur have had a rough start to the season themselves. Primary reasons include a lack of offensive efficiency and being very vulnerable in defense. Despite dominating possession in a lot of games, they struggled to convert that possession into goals, resulting in them just passing it sideways aimlessly and not going anywhere. Their defense has a lot of holes in it too, and they're particularly susceptible to set pieces, as they were against Arsenal, where Gabriel scored their only goal in that game. The high defensive line that we all praised Ange Postecoglou for when he first started in the league has since become something that we all criticize him for, because when Spurs try it, they leave themselves exposed. Injuries to Heung-min Son and Richarlison have disrupted the team's rhythm, and Postecoglou's tactical approach has been ineffective and easy to counter. Overall, Spurs have carried a lot of the worst from the back end of last season, or at least the middle of last season when they started really dropping in performances, over to this season. Like, don't get me wrong, when they're great, they are great, but they're not great all the time. They were against Manchester United though. Postecoglou's first win as Spurs manager did come against Erik ten Hag in the second match of last season, so maybe we all just chose to ignore the signs, or maybe that was just me. Straight off the bat, Manchester United looked like they had just about no structure at all. Spurs clearly did their homework and realized that this is a squad that's been trying to play out from the back for the past 3 years, but still look like this is a tactic that they just tried out in training once or twice in the last week and are seeing if it works in a game. They acted accordingly and never gave any United player any breathing space from kickoff. Not only that, but United set up to counter. Meanwhile, it seems like none of their front men were on the same page at all. I do attribute this to the shock of going a goal down so early, but still. Rashford loses possession so easily, perhaps thinking Garnacho was going to latch onto his heavy touch or pass. I don't know what he's doing here really. Probably the fastest centre-back in the league, Van der Ven, drives into the box and delivers the assist like it's nothing. 2 minutes have passed. By the way, what a drive. Ever since this guy came into the league, I've been wondering how a centre-back with this much pace was ever allowed to come into existence and play for Spurs, that is. Brennan Johnson wasn't about to miss from this close in. This kept happening over the entire match, and this is where I have to give Spurs some major flowers because there was always at least 1 or 2 men in the box waiting for a cutback, occupying a defender and creating chaos, or just giving options. I was 100% certain that Diego Dalot or Mazraoui was going to give up an own goal because of all the balls that were being fizzed across the line up until the far post. Oh, and on that note, Dalot was awful. Absolutely awful. What's been going on with this guy? Over the last season, he was actually one of United's better players, I thought at least, and now... man. For Spurs, there just seemed to always be more than one potential outcome in those situations. There were misplaced passes from the start, and this only got worse after conceding a goal so early. Misplaced clearances, United were so predictable and just so sloppy. Rashford was lively, and I'll always try to defend him when I can and not badmouth him if he doesn't deserve it, but we just need to see more from him. Garnacho was full of running and made some great attacking moves towards the end. Ironically, even though he fails to do the simple things really well, you know, just the simple give and goes, he almost scored an extremely spectacular volley from a Rashford cross. I don't know what it is about this guy. Over the past 6 months or so, he just seems to be less and less dangerous than he used to be. Maybe too much cutting inside and cutting back and not enough taking on his man like he used to. I can't get the feeling that if Garnacho was at a proper team, he's the kind of player that would be a world beater by now. Maybe I'm wrong, let me know what you guys think. Meanwhile, Spurs were having a lovely time. James Maddison was toying with both United's midfield and defense, almost chipped Onana at his near post. Really good stuff from him, he probably deserved a goal. And I know I've already said it, but the synchronized press by Spurs was just fantastic. The team just seemed so much more drilled, so much more confident than United in what they were supposed to do and how to interchange with each other. Domination, except for Timo Werner, the anti-aimbot. He should have had a brace at least. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy he didn't. It's a small consolation. It was clear that United were really rattled from the beginning because of how it started, and just because they're so lucky when the game looked like it was just about to open up just a little bit. Bruno Fernandes gets himself a red card. I'd say it was between a red and a yellow, more towards the yellow side. It's high and dangerous, obviously not intentional, and for those reasons, can't really fault the referee for whatever decision he decides to give. Kobbie Mainoo then walks off with an unexpected injury. What a day. And just as the first half started, a goal conceded in the first 2 minutes of the second half. The gym was calling. No, by the end of the match, I was too sad to go to the gym, so I just put all my sadness into this video. Interestingly enough, apart from the Kulusevski goal, we started playing better in the 20-odd minutes after the red card. More shots on goal, more corners. Okay, I'm gonna set the scene for you. Aliens come down. Gun pointed to your head. They've got the laser beam pointed at the earth, and they ask you this one simple question. Explain Manchester United. I think everyone, including Erik ten Hag, the players, Jim Ratcliffe, the fans, even the kit man, are getting blasted. The third goal was just a knockout blow to a man that was already down and out. Ugarte wasn't all that great in his first start in the league for United. I think McTominay definitely would have done better. Fred probably would have done better. Really sucks to say that and admit it. But it was his first start. He needs some time. He gets a pass. Onana was the man of the match for United, which is as sad can get. Sad day all around for the club, and sad times for the fans. Really isn't that good that this is the default feeling. You know, it has been the default feeling for some time now. I know a lot of you guys probably think that I enjoy making these videos on Man United because maybe they get more views or whatever. I can admit that. You know, I'm not gonna sit over here and act like that's not true, but I don't. And also, by the way, every YouTuber makes videos so that they can get more views. It's kind of how they make money. So if I burst a bubble in your mind, then sorry, but I don't. I like making videos when United win, and this is why I don't make tons of United videos and why I don't have a Man United centric channel, because I get pretty emotional a lot of the time when I just talk about them. all the time. My mind just feels like Mason Mount after getting that challenge. And Chelsea, by the way, have fully fleeced United, and I've only just deeped how bad it is. United signed this man on a 5-year contract for £60 million under no competition from any other team, just for him to forget how to play football immediately and his joints to lose all structural integrity. This is a place where generational wealth is made and careers come to die. You know, I think over the past 11 years, those are the two things that United have excelled at more than anything else. I think it's time for a new manager. Next up, we have Aston Villa, who probably should have gone joint top of the table against Ipswich, and then Porto, who are only second place in the Primeira Liga because there's another one of those Scandinavian cyborgs terrorizing Portugal right now. I hate those guys. I really was hoping we had one of our own. Maybe we do. But he can't stay fit. Erik ten Hag's days have to be very numbered at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if while I'm editing this video or even seconds after I post it, we get some sort of official communication. I haven't been part of the Ten Hag out crowd because I know about the disaster that's going to happen in the transition between now and the next manager. But you know, now I think it just has to be time for some change, right? Every day I'm reminded of the fact that Erik ten Hag was given hundreds of millions of pounds to spend on players and other accessories to fit his idea and vision for how the club should look, feel, and play, and it didn't work. And then a group came in, bought in a minority stake of the club, took over the sporting management of the club, so to say, made a lot of promises about how the team was going to play better, how the team was going to win the league by 2028. Somehow, they gave him 200 more million pounds to spend in the most recent summer, and it still hasn't worked. You know, here we are. Take away the FA Cup and, you know, the Carabao Cup from 2 years ago, and basically what you have is a whole bunch of nonsense and a bunch of descriptors that I don't think I can say on YouTube, otherwise my channel would be absolutely pulverized. But then again, you know, it could be worse, right? It could get worse, right? Right? Honestly, I don't even know, but I think I'm going to end the video here. Join us next time when we talk about the Bundesliga or a retro player or something other than Man United. There we have it. That's all for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers. I'll catch you in the next one.